I'd like to tell something of a bit of a personal narrative about how the pandemic has changed my family, and maybe it's a story that you and your family can relate to as well. You may have seen in a couple videos I've done recently, I've been out in the woods, out and about in nature, surrounded completely by trees. You've been wondering, well, what's going on? Where's Furey? What's he doing? Where is he? Well, I've been up in what I'd call my undisclosed bunker in rural Ontario, getting out of the city. Back in March when the lockdown started, schools shut down. Well, we got small kids at home and we live in our house in the city. Not a lot of space for, any property in downtown Toronto. So we said, let's get out of here. And we were quite privileged to have access to a big property up north, lots of acreage for the kids to run around, for them to play, for them to learn, for them to explore. And they were doing just that, learning about different trees and distinguishing different types of mushrooms, taking a little field guide with them, learning about different animals and so forth. It was fantastic. There's often an urban-rural divide where kids in Canada, they don't always get those opportunities out there. Urban kids sometimes not learning all that much about this sort of stuff, and I thought it was a real blessing. Obviously, could I do without the coronavirus, the pandemic? You betcha, but we were able to see an upside to all of that. Now, that's my particular circumstances, but I know other people are sort of in other situations where things have changed for them kind of similarly about getting back to nature, or at least getting back to the old ways of doing things. I saw that Sobeys Foods was saying in some sort of news article or report that they feel that this cooking from home thing, well, it's going to diminish a little bit now that society is largely reopened, but a lot of people are going to stick to it. So folks who are usually used to just popping something in the oven, a sort of pre-made thing or eating out, they've actually gone and said, this bread that I always eat, I know it involves kind of flour and yeast stuff or, wheat or something like that. What's actually in this bread? How do you make it? I see the bakers, bread rises and stuff. Maybe I should try that from home. And of course, we saw the flour just fly off the shelves. And a lot of Canadians learned to do cooking from scratch on a number of products. Now, I'm a big supporter of Canada's restaurants and they are amazing, but also kudos to all those people who did learn to cook from home and learn to go back to the old ways of doing things. Same for health. I think a lot of people thought, oh man, I don't want to be one of these people who's fallen down by this virus here, and I want to be in as good of a healthy position as I can. I saw that in the US, Peloton as a stock, that sort of bicycle thing that, people were doing a lot of memes of. Peloton, that's surging ahead as a stock. A lot of people are buying it. I think a lot of people are buying home fitness equipment. Now, some of that is people who maybe missed the gym, wanted to just get it at home. Other people, I think, are maybe people trying it for the first time, trying to get in shape and take care of themselves a bit more. So yes, we really disconnected from some things, but I think a lot of the kind of manic pace frenzy stuff where you just can't slow down to go for a walk in the woods or to stop and learn to bake some bread. I actually churned butter. Can you believe that? I actually made butter at home a few times. People doing fitness, things that they didn't make the time for previously, we've now been able to make the time for. And I think that's a great thing as a society, an awful experience, obviously, more broadly, that a lot of us have undergone. But there's been a great opportunity to really step back and do something of a societal reset, looking at what matters, looking back on some of the old ways. And I hope you were able to enjoy some of that yourself.